America.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Shacknews Twitch channel. It is Monday, sometime in the afternoon, evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. It's February 28th, last day of the month. We're here with the 121st episode of the Wide World of Electronic Sports. We're here with the host of the most, talking Brian, Phil, Rodney. What's going on, guys?
Yo, Chris, how you doing? Thank you so much for the intro. Yes, it is another wide world of electronic sports here on a fabulous Monday, episode 121. I am Bryan Lefler. So happy to be joined by my awesome co-hosts, Rodney Conyers Jr. How you doing today, friend?
I'm doing really well. We got a special episode, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm strapped in and ready.
nice. And Phil, the phenomenal Visu. How are you doing today, friend?
Big chilling, back from Vegas, all Gucci, all gang. You know how it is, man.
Beautiful. Love to hear it. And yes, we are joined by a special guest. We have another interview today. We actually have a couple, but first, we're going to get to our first interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Homemade Waffles.
Hello
Brandon, how
there.
are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you all?
Doing so great. We're really happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's just get right into our first topic of the day, and one that obviously you're going to have a lot of thoughts on. We all have thoughts on, and that's the Evo news coming out from Sony. Evo officially declared that Smash will not be at Evo this year, probably not next year, probably not ever. No Smash, no version of it. It's just not going to be available. I'm going to let you talk about your thoughts on that, Brandon. What do you think of this announcement coming out of Evo?
Um, I don't know if it's apathetic, but I kind of wasn't surprised. I just feel like since it's a Sony event, Nintendo, like that whole clash is just a thing. So I just figured they wouldn't have it because it's for another, like, it's like if Microsoft, same thing. Like I just feel like Nintendo only kind of works within the realm of Nintendo. So that's what I would assume why it wouldn't be there. But I mean, how I feel about it as far as, like, the community. I mean, it sucks for Smash as a whole, but I mean, this also is, it's like it could be a blessing depending on like what comes in the process. Like maybe there's something like the horizon could be bigger for Smash or whatever, because you know
That's right.
they could do something else. I don't know.
Keep that optimism up, Brandon. You want to know the truth?
Here
You
it
want to hear
comes.
some real talk?
What's up, bro?
Evo, for the longest time, was ran by that bum ass Mr. Wizard or whatever his name is. Okay, whose best friend's probably EDP Cupcake Gang. All right,
Oh wow.
both of them,
Oh,
as far as I'm concerned, can kick rocks. Evo itself has always been an overrated experience for Smash. Don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. It's got some dope ass people on the team. I think freaking the dudes from 10-0 are dope. Chris Seggs, that's my guy. Like, no cap about that. I think the dude who took over it now, like Rick,
Rick.
he ran a combo, he runs Comp-Breaker. He's gonna clean that image up around. Like, even without Smash, like, they're gonna do, a terrific job. And obviously Vegas is just like a destination spot. But as far as Smash goes, how many times was Smash the most entered into game and just disrespect? I remember that one year we didn't get like the stadium or whatever. I think we finished the tournament on a Saturday. I'm like, are you kidding me? You
Yeah.
bums? How many entrants we got? For years and upon years, I've been telling people this is the Super Bowl of fighting games. It's not the Super Bowl of Smash. That title, in my opinion, has always belonged to Genesis. I firmly stamp that and stand by that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
am I disappointed that Smash won't be at Evo? No, I don't give a shit. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Nothing of value was lost, in my opinion. People are using this as an excuse to go hashtag F Nintendo. I get it, okay? I get it. Evo, eyes on the prize, whatever.
Mhm.
Actually being there and getting the treatment in past years, kind of dog shit. This year would have been awesome because, again, Rick, he's an amazing TO. He would have done us right. But it is what it is. Ain't nothing to cry about, sulk about, baby. On to the next.
Yeah, I mean,
we
That's my
need Evo.
yeah, we've been doing our own thing for a while. And from my experience, I've also had a shit experience with Mr. Wizard, so
See?
fuck that
You
guy.
get
There
it?
you go.
But sometimes it's cool just to have like everything in one together. But I mean, I agree with you. Feel like the tournament experience, at least from my experience, has always been kind of shit. You know, they
Mid,
like,
he doesn't care.
yeah.
This is
Fuck your shit, Brandon.
this
I
is
mean,
a
it
guy,
has. It's just,
Mr. Wizard or whatever. Yeah, Mr. Wizard. I remember one time when they were announcing reluctantly, yeah, we're gonna have, we're gonna have a Smash Mac, we're gonna have Smash Ultimate. I remember the guy from Mexico wanted the guy from Mexico. His name is Leo. Okay, Leo, you ignorant bitch. I'm glad you're done. It feels so good to get this off my chest. My chest feels so good to get this off my chest. Woo!
Talk your
Shouts
shit.
to
So,
Evo. The new
yeah.
direction, the new owners of Evo, because I like that Rick guy. I hope he does well. I heard Pokey's a principal investor too. Shouts to Pokey. But I don't care. I'm good.
Yeah, I got a story about it.
it's
I'm sorry, Rod. With
no, you good. Go ahead, bro.
so this was like Evo 2014. Might have been even 20. It might have been. I think it was 2014. I think it was the one where Mango won back to back. That was 2014.
Mhm.
So yeah, we were Blur, shouts to Blur and Dindy Pretendy. They drive all the CRTs for Melee from SoCal to Vegas, right? And they need help, like, because it's a lot of TVs, and so we're in the area. It's late. We're like, all right, I got you, Blur, right? So me, Violence, a couple other people. Shouts to everybody who was there that night. We help. We put the TVs. We set them up. It's like 20-ish or so. Mind you, this is all they had for the whole event. Mind you, thousands of people are going to be playing. So we only got like 25 TVs. It's not a lot for like 1,000, 2,000 man tournament. We fix it. We set it up. Right. We're all like in a huddle, just like kind of waiting. Blur's like waiting. He's like, yeah, I'm waiting for Mr. Wizard. Mr. Wizard comes up, looks at all of us. Which one of you do I pay? He has no idea who was in charge of the whole. Blur was like the main facilitator. He had no idea who Blur was or just anything. Didn't say thank you. Nothing. Just gave Blur what was his money, walked off. But yeah, I mean, I'm just shitting on Mr. I don't know the guy, but like that was pretty shitty. So
I mean, honestly, first impression of everything, bro. So I mean, let's just call it for what it is.
Yeah,
And I definitely agree with you.
I can't speak on bro like that, but just from that one experience and then the whole thing with him, I was just like, oh damn.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda
Trouble
crazy.
always finds a way. Hey,
Yeah.
but here's my take on Evo though, bro. I feel like Evo is always gonna Evo gives off this, or at least it did. Because I don't, of course, it's under new management, like Phil said. Now, man, big shout out to Rick. But I feel like Evo is always going to do what was best for Evo. And if that meant that they had to paint a narrative, a type of way to keep the grassroots community like this, because that's where fighting games comes from. Even though I know Evo is moving more towards corporate, they still like to pull at the heartstrings of the nostalgia that is the grassroots environments. But like we've seen it most notably with like 2016 or 17 Pokken tournament had to basically fight against Marvel versus Capcom for that final spot, or not even the final spot, community spot. And this is Pokemon throwing money at this. This ain't just like some community nothing. Like this is Pokemon. When they got rid of Melee, look, I was at CEO in 2017, right before he moved to Daytona, and Bailey gave like a really heartfelt speech on the importance of Melee at tournaments like CEO and Evo, but most notably, obviously CEO because we were there. But he was like, yo, some of my first couple events, my numbers were the way they are today because the Melee community helped me build it. People wouldn't even show up if I didn't have a couple thousand people here. So, the grassroots community definitely plays a big role in this, but the fact remains the same, that companies like Evo are just going to do what's best for Evo. And if they feel like, damn, we got to get rid of Nintendo, I think that's saying a lot. Because from what I was told by a little birdie that's no longer with us in the community. But he was just like, yo, Nintendo and Evo, they work out you already know what I'm talking about, Phil. But and sometimes this source can be a little like less than reputable. But I think he was right. He was like, look, they work out a financial thing every year. Nintendo pays Evo. This is one of the few events that they actually pay to work with. And then for them to just give them the axe, I mean, I agree with you, Brandon. There's no universe where I ever felt like Nintendo and Sony were going to play nice. I mean, even looking at the history of how those two companies formed, Nintendo and Sony have just never gotten along. But I was just like, damn, Smash? But hey, this gives us the golden opportunity to build up Genesis even bigger. Because there's always been that, which one's bigger, which one's more prestigious to win? Is it Genesis? Is it Evo? Well, shit, now it's Genesis.
Yeah, I mean, and just I think too, you got to play by Nintendo's rules if you do a Nintendo tournament. So, if you got other games that aren't Nintendo, they gonna get you up out of here, bro. At least that's kind of that's my initial thought. Because
Well, we gonna,
Well,
when has that ever been a
good point.
thing?
That's a
well, we
good
gonna,
point as well. I was going to mention sorry, but just when you say that if there's other games or whatever, but like yeah, Nintendo wants to make money. There's no reason for them to sell Smash right now, right? Like there's no fighter pass, there's no game coming out, there's no, the people who have bought Smash have bought it. I mean, they might get a few more sales or whatever, but I don't see any incentive for Nintendo to have their game at Evo if they're trying to, get more people to buy it.
Yeah, and then also too, Nintendo, from what we've all read, I mean, we've seen the tweet. There's some sort of circuit in the works, so maybe they just want to shift more focus towards their own thing, building
Yeah.
their own thing off the ground, and maybe they don't want to go down the same route as Street Fighter because we see this same discussion in Street Fighter where which one's more prestigious to win, Capcom Pro Tour or Evo. Maybe Nintendo is just like, we just want to keep it in our own backyard. We'll tell you what's prestigious. We'll put some Mario coins on the line. We'll be good to go.
they also just might not want their name attached to the tarnished legacy of Mr.
Mhm.
Wizard. You know,
Well, it's
and
like
I
a
get
double
that.
thing, right? Like they don't want to be
Huh?
attached to that. They don't want to be attached to that tarnished image, and they also don't want to be
Yeah,
attached to something with Sony, right? So it's kind of like
yeah.
it's kind of like a twofer, right? Like
I
just
truly believe it could change down the line. Like you never quite know, right? But I do feel like a lot of these decisions are spearheaded by the big wigs over there in Japan, and they're pretty like dedicated to very protective of their IP. So linking up with anything with Sony, just that's probably not the look they're going for. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, because it's under new management, I do wish the best for Evo. But as far as like from a Smash perspective, it's just far from the end of the world.
no.
It's gonna be
Yeah, I
okay.
think that Panda Global partnership is gonna, bring something big as well for Smash, as well as
We'll
Smash
see. I
World
need some
Tour,
news
and
on that. I'm done
yeah.
campaigning for that till I get some updates.
Awesome.
Y'all gonna
Watch
have to
that
give me some
dog.
results. That's it. I ain't taking you out to 5 days. We ain't got nowhere.
Show
Come
me
on,
the
I need some
money.
results, team. Talking to somebody right now.
Come on now.
Well, we've talked enough about Evo. Let's talk about you a little bit, Mr. Waffles. Brandon, we all know who you are here, but in case there are people watching who don't know, tell us how you got started in commentary and just professional Smash Brothers in general.
Um, shit. So my boy I grew up with, his tag was Park. He was a Yoshi player. We grew up across the street from each other. Known him since I was a little kid. And he always had Melee, and he would play it. And at first, I didn't really pay it no mind. I was kind of just like doing my own thing, living life, right? I'd play with them and stuff, just pass the time. Didn't really think much of it. And then he started finding competitive videos and stuff. Mind you, this is like 2006. This is around like I found YouTube around this time because of this too. Like that's how long ago this was. But he would like watch competitive videos, and then I'd be like, oh damn, it's crazy. Like all these like matchups we saw, like Ken and Bomb Soldier and all that back in the day. And then he was like, yeah, I'm trying to compete. And I was like, yeah, I got you, bro. I'm down to like practice. I like playing the game. It's something to do, especially in the summers, because I was living in Modesto, and it's just like super, super hot there. So it's just like, all right, I might as well just play Melee or whatever, right? So I'm doing that, and then I pretty much I got good at it. Like I was just like to a point where I was like beating my friends like unintentionally for real. Like I wasn't trying to be the best or nothing. So I was like, yeah, maybe I could play this game more, right? And then we start going to tournaments, and we went to this one tournament, and they kind of just like blew my mind how like people were coming all over to compete. And at the time, like, you see like the King, who was like the first like the puff that influenced Mango for real.
Mm, yep.
Yes, sir.
What's we call it? Isaiah was there, and it was just like kind of crazy to me, like just like these like everybody's here for like a tournament, like this wait, like what? They came from all over, like that just blew my mind. And so I was just like, man, let me go back because it was in my city. So I was like, all right, I'll go over there and I start playing more. And then I went to a school for a little bit. And then as I was going to school, where I went to school at was like right next to Field, not EE Field, Do you feels me on Twitter. Like we live
Sure.
really close. And then the rest was like, and then at this time, Brawl had came out. Brawl had just came out.
Yep.
So like nobody was on Melee at this point. Everybody was off it. Like, why are y'all playing this game? We used to get that a lot. And then so we just kind of just went to the ground running. And then from there, like Cali at least, we had like this small group of people who played still. So it was like us, and that's how we got cool with like Mango and all them and like Zoo and stuff. Like, cause it was just like 30 of us, like Lovage, Lucky, everybody, who else? Dewan, all these people. We just like, well, we're just gonna stick to this game and keep playing it, and eventually it just like spawned to what it was, man. It was kind of wild. And then the commentary happened because like, you know, I was always recording videos and I'd upload videos because, you know, I would always see a lot of good sets like that. Like I was talking to you about, like say I see Silent Spectre I remember I watched Silent Spectre versus Falcomus and it was a crazy set and like nobody saw it. And I was like, damn, man, we need somebody to record this. So I would record it and then upload it to YouTube. And then shouts to Scar and Cactar. They had a tournament where they commentated forgot what tournament. It was like some tournament with Dark Rain. And I was like, yo, we should try this, like just fucking around. And then I wanted people to commentate. I wanted to be the dude like behind the, like, you know, on some Gimmer type of shit or on some like, you know, Summit type shit where I'm just like behind the camera doing the transitions. Like that was my thing. But nobody would want to commentate. I was like, fuck. So at first Phil and Daryl did it just like on some homie shit. Like, yo, I got you, bro.
Oh, Daryl, the Samus player?
Yeah.
Dude.
So they did it the first tournament, and this tournament, like hella crazy things happened. Like shouts to Mitchell Tang. He did like a 4-stock comeback. Silent Spectre did this crazy like wall jump recovery on Fountain that nobody's seen at the time. It was just a lot of crazy stuff that tournament. So it got people watching, and we got a video with 1,000 views. And at that time, like 1,000 views was just like, what? It was crazy. And then so I was like, all right, I need to find people to commentate. But Daryl and Phil couldn't do it all the time. So I was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Since like I don't know who else can do it. So I would do it. And then Phil did it with me just on some homie shit. And then like people just started watching it. And then they gravitated towards what it was, I guess. I mean, we got a lot of shit at first because we would talk a lot of shit. Like people act like it was all roses. People fucking didn't like it until, you know, shit got more professional. And then everybody was like, oh, we need the East, you know, that shit back, blah, blah, blah. But that's pretty much how I started commentating. It was more so because like nobody was willing to do it. Not because I was like trying to commentate.
Nah, I mean, dude, you're the fucking man now. And I gotta bring this up because look, I've watched other esports and they have coined one of your terms, you know, multiple times, you know, yo, man. And I've seen it in every game, every accent, you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting hit with the wombo combo with the happy feet. And I'm just like, man, do y'all know where the fuck that came from? So I gotta ask you, yo, like, what transpired? What built up to that? Because I think a lot of people have heard the term before, they've heard it used, they've heard the get your ass whooped, but I don't think where it came from and the story behind it. And also, Krabs, I linked the video in the chat too if you want to throw that on stream.
All right.
For sure. So Wombo Combo initially, shouts to Tang and Silent Spectre. They were like outside of Isaiah because Isaiah was the big dog in NorCal. Just if you are old school in NorCal, Isaiah would do shit like he would show up. For example, he'd show up and say he'd be like, yo, you want a team? Win teams, leave. That was Isaiah every time. But outside of that, Silent Spectre and Tang, Jeff and Mitchell were like our best team. So they were always really good. And then they would have classics with like Mango and Lucky. That was a thing. Like, you know, so I mean, at this time, Mango's like ascending to being like the best player, but he's still like losing to Silent Spectre and Tang. You know, like it was back and forth. I wouldn't say he's losing, but it was like a back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. And so Silent Spectre and Tang would come up with these crazy ass combos, like especially Tang. Mitchell would always come up with these ideas, and then he would always name them. And like one combo name was A Whole New World. They did it on SFAN one time. It was some crazy shit. Yeah, it was some crazy ass combo. And then this one was a wombo combo. So if you don't know, there's I'm sure, bro. I wonder. Roundtable has to know about this fucking video, but there's a pizza in Roundtable called the Wombo Combo, right? It's actually fire. It's pretty much like a meat lovers pizza, right?
Okay.
And they named the combo after that. I forgot why, but
Oh,
prior, I'd say like a week or two before, we were all in NorCal chilling, and they did the combo on Phil, but they didn't. If you watch the video, you know Mitchell does the shine up smash.
Yeah.
That wasn't in. He just did a normal up smash. So then, you know, like as they did it, Mitchell's like, bro, I've been trying to get this shit tournament. I can't get it in the tournament. Sometimes we get it in person, but we don't get in a tournament. And so he was saying that. So we had talked about this for like a week or so prior. So then the day of the Wombo combo happens. So you know, Zoo had a combo called Happy Feet. Shouts to Zoo. It was just it's just him comboing people Falco all over the place. So when you hear me saying Happy Feet, and then I'm like Wombo combo, because I'm like, is this where they're gonna do it? Right? Because like we talked about this, like, you know, so it was like, are they gonna do this shit? And then when they did, that's why we lost our minds, because they fucking did it, like, because we thought they would never be able to like pull it off in bracket at least. And then when I say get your ass whooped, that was just always, that's how we used to talk back then. We'd be like, oh, you got your ass whooped, you just getting bodied, you know, like that was our way of talking shit. I had to say it, bro. I'm sorry, Zoo, but you know, it goes with the video. But yeah, pretty much that's why it was so hype, because I mean it was just a fucking crazy combo. But I think if it were on the fly, it would have been crazy. But the fact that we knew what they were trying to do before they even did it is what crazy. And they added shit to the combo while doing it that day.
Now, was
on
the
a big
knee,
stage and shit.
Was the knee at the end always a part of the combo?
Yeah, the knee was, but like the initial, I think part of the pummel and like the shine up smash was not part of it. It was not supposed to be part of it. Like some of how they started the combo wasn't, and I know the shine up smash wasn't a thing, and he just did that, and we were like, what? So we were losing it. But yeah, that's like the origin story basically. The combo happened in SoCal in San Bernardino.
Are you the reason it got recorded?
Yeah, I recorded it. Yeah. And what's funny is and I get this to the shouts to Lumpy, my boy. He lives in Texas now, but you know, we always came up together playing, and I show him the combo. At this point, you know, mind you, we don't have Twitch, right? So this is just like a fucking myth. Like no one knows that the combo happened except for the people in the building. So people are like, why is everyone talking about this combo on Smashboards? Like people don't know what happened. So I got the video. I'm showing Lumpy. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm just gonna put this match out in its entirety. He's like, bro. And he shout outs to him, because he kind of knew marketed before there were like, he low-key did some TikTok shit 15 years ago. But anyway, he's like, bro, you gotta put a clip, you gotta put the video out of just the clip. I'm like, nah, man, like I don't wanna, you know, because it's just like weird. Like, you know, at the time, no one did shit like that, right? He's like, nah, bro, you gotta put just the clip out. I'm telling you, hella, fuck the match. No one cares about the match. People want to see the clip. I'm like, nah. He's like, let me do it then. I was like, I got you, bro. And then that's why when you look at where the owner of the channel, where it says Lumpy CPU, like that's him.
Yeah.
So and you know,
you never got paid off of that clip?
No. So okay, here's the thing,
bro. That's an NFT.
First off,
that's an NFT, bro.
Hear me out. So first off, I thought, you know, like the rights are my video, but one, that's a good friend of mine, right? Right. And if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have been on that. Like it wouldn't have been the clip it was. He was the one that was like, hey man, upload just the clip. Fuck the video. And then also he told me like what he was getting off that. He was like, bro, honestly, I'm not, because he doesn't really be on YouTube. He's like, yo, I just like pay my phone bill with it and shit like that. I don't know. Just knowing what he goes through. He got a daughter now. Shouts to Kenny. But I just felt like it's fine. And as far as that aspect, as long as like he titles like the shit like it came from my shit, I didn't really care. Especially at that time, because we were just so young. We didn't really know like shit like that. But he's not like making like colossal money off that video.
Because,
I promise
bro, I be hearing this term, man. I've seen a clip. Somebody linked the clip some damn where a few months ago. Some like, I mean, bro, these are like some stiff esports casters. You know what I'm saying? They got the suit on at the fancy ass esports table, and it's just like, yo, he hit them with the hoppy feet wombo combo, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, you don't even know, boy. Like, you just don't even know.
Yeah.
But
I've had people tell me that it comes from League, and that's just
oh my
They
I
use it
just
god,
in
I
quite a
let him
bit.
have it. I let him have it.
Nah, that's
culture
I'm like,
vultures.
disrespectful, bro. What?
it's
Hell
crazy.
no.
It's crazy, bro. They'd be like, yeah, you
So-
know it came from League, right? I'm like, oh, really?
Oh, did it? Nah,
Oh,
Sure.
really?
I mean,
On that note, I mean that video, that clip, and it was visionary to of your friend to just have you upload the clip. Really, you're right. That was definitely like super visionary of him. But how does it feel to be part of a video that legendary in the fighting game community? I mean, I would rank Happy Feet Wombo Combo right up there with the Justin Wong Daigo Perry video. You know what I mean? As far as like just monumental moments that are cemented in fighting game history. And like you are, of course, a centerpiece of that. Yeah, how does that feel?
first it feels weird. I didn't like it initially because I'm like, man, this is like I hope people just don't think like all I do is that. But then at the same time, it's like it's dope because I think where I like about it is that I did it with all the people that I fuck with, my friends. You know,
Yeah.
these people at this point I pretty much grew up with them, so it's like cool to know that just us being 17, 18-year-old kids at the time, just playing a game. I don't think we realized the magnitude of what was to come from that, and I feel like that clip like embodies that. From me commentating, from Phil commentating, when I see Mango with these big sponsors, it's like none of us like. There was no way to expect all this shit to come from that, and back then we were all just broke ass teenagers, really. So it was just cool to see like something from us just being almost like just naive to the situation, from it taking us in places in our lives that just help develop what we do now, and we're still be able to do the shit that we did then, which like that's what I like about the clip.
yeah.
Personally.
I mean, dude, you have done a lot of great things. I mean, I'm pretty sure you did the event at South by Southwest. The Five Gods event, and I've always been envious of anybody who ever got to do anything at South by Southwest. But it made
I
sense.
did. I was not in that event.
Wait, were you not? Or were you
You're
you guys
mixing
the
up D1 and TK.
No,
was
I
not
know
at South
D1
by
and TK did it because TK got upset because Melee and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't do that? Or was it you did a Yahoo Twitch Rivals? You did one of the two, I thought.
I did do the Yahoo one. Yeah,
That's what
I did the Yahoo
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
That was
very
that one.
envious. I was just like, hey, yo, man, like this is the closest to like almost TV we got in Smash. Now,
Right.
really quick here on the subject of like tournaments. We've been in the pandemic, or we're still in it. I mean, I don't really know what the hell's going on these days. The world's ending basically. But anyway, I think of like the Mount Rushmore Smash, in different eras, the overall Mount Rushmore, offline, online, whatever. When I think of obviously the things you've done offline, you're definitely up there. But the online shit, I feel like it's something people kind of sleep on about you. Rollback Rumble, bro. Like, bro, you just been hosting consistent ass mini regionals online. Like, where did this come from?
It's kind of just like the same thing when I started recording, right? Like I felt like there was a need for it, and so I did it, and that was pretty much it. And then it just spawned this whole ass thing, especially when the pandemic first started. I mean, we didn't have rollback. Shouts to Fizzy for that, but we had delay, and I was just thinking like, all right, maybe I could just like, because I didn't like, obviously none of us knew how long the pandemic would last. Right. So like my initial thought was like, okay, we'll probably be down bad for I thought like everybody else, we'll be down bad for like a couple of months, maybe 3-4 months. In the meantime, I could just host some shit until it blows over, and that never happened. So so we just kept like hosting events, and then online, and then eventually it was like, because I was doing a bunch of different regions, like Northeast, Southeast, West Coast, Texas, Midwest, and then when rollback came out, it made it easier, so I could just do East and West. But yeah, we just were like, all right. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna just keep doing these until bigger events pop up. But as far as right now, this would be a good segue for people to just they want to like practice and develop their game. What we could just have a metric to see like where everyone's at least until like a Genesis or something bigger gets announced. But it's always I always treated it like a playing field for everyone to just like for people who don't want to take breaks and just want to grind. Like here you go.
Yeah, and I feel like I event as definitely the byproduct, the brainchild of something that you would do. Because like every time I see you at an event, I'm gonna be real. I know you commentate. I don't know if I've ever actually physically seen you commentate. I've always seen you in the friendlies area just whooping ass. I'm just like, yo, like I know this dude is here for one thing, but if you ask me where do I find homemade waffles, I'm gonna tell you gonna find them in the friendlies area playing games.
Yeah, or in the crowd chilling or something. I'm like never like backstage or anything. I'm like
never. This guy,
I
I'll be bougie.
never
I'll be bougie sometimes. I'll be chilling backstage.
Hey,
This
no, I'm
guy-
not. I ain't gonna lie. I do sometimes be going to like when I get the VIPs. I do be going there for the waters and the Gatorades. I'm not gonna hold you. I'll go in there for that. Say hi for like 10 minutes and then I'm back in the rotations, bro. Like that's kind of how I always, or I'm in the crowd or something. But I usually just be in the cut, chilling. I don't really. I've always been that way. I guess I think it helped me in the sense of just like I know since I'm just around those type of people more. I know like what type of like with rollback rumbles. Like I know these type of people will want these. You know what I mean? Like the smaller events. But yeah, I'm always just in the cut, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I
See
feel
me in
you.
the corner chilling, bro.
Right. I feel that. Yo, so really quick, I mean, you've been in the community a lot longer than, and like the way I describe even EE, because when I used to teach, I had a lot of kids who were into Smash and they would watch you guys, we're playing games. They would quote you sometimes. They would quote Phil more times than I would have liked them to. But they would quote you guys while they're playing. And I gotta know, man. I mean, you've been in the community so long. What do you think is like one of your crowning achievements? I mean, I've seen your influence in a lot of different ways, down to the commentary style, the tournament running style. But what is your biggest achievement personally?
Shit, man.
I know it's a tough question because I know you're still kind of writing it out, but what's up?
I mean, I guess for me, just what like the type of shit recently with the whole Bimmy. I mean, we get into that later, but that, and then just putting on like little events in the Bay, I would say that. I think that the TOing aspect is probably where I get the most like, yeah, man. Like I feel like I'm doing the right thing. My situation's weird because I kind of just done a lot of everything.
You have.
But I mean, just I guess overall, that's a good question. My best achievement, I don't know. I guess it would be, I think it'd be like TO and like the smaller events, just because I like seeing like, you like I like people will come to our we used to host these tournaments called Melee at the Maid. Shouts to the Maid in Oakland, and I would just watch players develop. You know what I mean? And I think like being able to be a part of that is kind of cool. Like a good example is like watching like Spark just come to every tournament when he was good, he was okay, but you see now he's just like one of the best Melee players. Or just like, even back in the days, like, chilling with Mango, recording with them and all that stuff. You like, yeah, this kid is good. He's like the best out of all of us, right? And then you watch him just be like one of the world's best players. Like shit like that is just crazy. And like, so being a part of that is like pretty cool. I'd say so. Like that and like,
definitely.
Just being a part of the scene when it was just like like just getting shit for playing Melee,
right?
Like constantly, and then now knowing it's like where it is. I think that's like those things, like seeing things just like start from nothing and go from somewhere, and like being able to witness it. I think is my crowning achievement if there was one. Just being around and seeing everything develop it while being part of it.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like you're being a little modest right now. You know, I
I
think
guess so. I can't really
it's
think
just
of something like. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I guess another thing I guess I would say is I feel like I'm one of the only people in this sphere as far as Smash period, like that has TO'd at a high level, commentated at a high level, and have played at a high level. Like, and
Yeah,
that
that's
feels pretty
facts.
good.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's a
just
triple
knowing
crown.
like yo, I've hosted big tournaments, I've commentated big tournaments, I've beaten top players. Like that, I feel like not a lot of people can say that. Usually they're like really good at like a couple things or one thing, and knowing that I can like go to every sphere in this and just in this community, I guess, and to be able to do that is like pretty cool too. I guess that's probably a better answer if it's more personal. Just knowing like, damn, I like, yo, I definitely like commentated just as top 8. And what's another thing? TO like a big ass online tournament. Beats like Dewan before, Plup before, shit like that. Like that's crazy, you know. Like I
There
can't really
is.
think of anybody else who's done that shit.
That's the one to go to because I don't think there is anyone else who has done that. If I'm speaking quite frankly, like
Yeah.
Right.
legit. Like I'm not talking about I beat my PR player in Nebraska. No, national level threats have been
Hold
slain
on,
by
hold
this
on, hold on,
man.
hold on, hold on, hold on,
I'm
hold on.
sorry, Rod. I know you live in Nebraska, but ain't
You're
nobody good out
gonna
there.
stop this black on black violence. Stop it, bro.
Sorry, South Dakota, whatever you want to use. But yeah, I agree with that, Wolf. That's the kind of like impact that's not easy to make. But I mean, goddamn, as many years as you put in the game, man, I'm glad you've been getting back what you
Yeah.
deserve. I was one of the people who's like, oh, a waffle on Beast Coast, yeah, run that shit, run that
I
shit.
mean, yeah, it's crazy because for a while I was like, I didn't think getting sponsored was like a thing. Like I was like, yeah, I probably won't, and then they hit me up, and I mean, we both on Beast Coast, and it's
There
been a
it is.
dope experience. So I'm blessed that I feel like, especially now, especially post pandemic, I feel like I get a lot of like I get my flowers a lot, and that's pretty cool. It's cool to hear like because sometimes I've been in a situation like, man, why the fuck am I doing this shit? Like, like it's like yo, I could just be,
Same.
but then people will tell me like, yo, I would have quit if there wasn't no tournaments or. Like for example, I watched this one kid. His name is Pillar Monkey. Shout outs to Jacob. He lives in Oakland. He used to come to these locals, the maids, every every week for like 2 years, and dude would go 0-2, and then he like won a set, and I popped off for him because I was just like, yo, like so seeing stuff like that, to also being like, oh, okay, I'm like commentating in this crazy ass like stadium, whatever, the Paramount Theater, which is crazy because like it's like, yo, Chris Rock performed here, like
Yeah.
hella people, especially like being living in Oakland, like it's just like, damn, like this is crazy. I'm commentating in the fucking Paramount Theater, like and shit like that is kind of wild to me. So I'm truly blessed about like the love I get and all that shit, man.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you definitely
y'all
deserve
give
your
me,
flowers.
I appreciate it. I try to do my best, and I'm just glad that like just doing what I did, and not only doing what I did, but like treating people the right way in the process. I feel like in turn, like just kind of like what you give comes out. So I'm truly like blessed. So
Yeah, no doubt.
life is
Definitely
good
some wise words.
for sure.
Well, while we're talking about achievements that you've attained in the Smash community, we wanted to touch real quick on an event that you've actually hosted, or that you host, and that's the Black Empowerment Melee Invitational.
Mhm.
And yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago actually, and I thought it was an incredible idea. I hadn't heard of it before, and I think it's a really awesome way for people to not only watch great Smash, but learn about Black history. I thought that the interview segments that you like splice in between the sets and everything was a really great idea. Yeah, can you talk a bit about the idea behind the empowerment invitational that you do?
Yeah. So shouts to Do You Feels to Be Feel. I feel like I always have to preface that when I'm in the call with EE. But he was like, man, it'd be cool if we had like a tournament like that. And I was like, you're right. So like let's just I'm gonna start doing that shit,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
I thought it'd be cool for Black History Month, especially because of like at this time it was like early 2021, late 2020. probably like 2020, especially what happened in 2020. It was like fucking crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, all right, yeah, this would be a good segue for like, you know, that, especially because at this point, you know, early 2021, late 2020, that like a lot of the like black issues in America kind of like it like just say subsided as far as publicly. And I remember prior in like May or June or whatever doing like a tournament fundraiser thing, like a net play. I was just one of the streams for it for like the George Floyd situation. And then after I was thinking, I was like, bro, like I really get tired of like having shit like this for when somebody get killed, right? I wanted to have a tournament for like and it not be based off of tragedy,
Yeah.
you know, and just like I
Facts.
feel like we should be able to celebrate that shit while we're all here. I feel like it shouldn't take, you know, a black person to die for us to all get together and like make some dope shit happen. So
100%.
you know, I guess that's the real premise of like what spawned it. And then you know we just got a lot of dope people in the community that help leverage this shit from, you know, and they're black. Obviously, you know, he Rod, like some of the most influential people that have ever stepped foot in this community are black.
Yeah.
Right. And also there are really good people who are good commentators, good TOs, good players, and are black, and people don't really know about them. And I also feel like a lot of the black people in the community aren't as vocal. At least that's what it seems to me. So I kind of just wanted to put all that on display. I also wanted to show that blackness is like a spectrum, right? We're not all the same. Like Rod, you live in Nebraska. You're from like Maryland, right? Like I'm from
Yep.
Cali. Like so, you know, we're all black though. That's the common thing. But you know, you have light skin, dark skin, gay, straight, trans. Not every black person is American. A lot of people don't even think about shit like that. And basically, how we all live in this bubble of just Earth in this space, and we're all, you know, the common theme is we're all black, but we're also different. But because of us being different, that helps, like, to me, even more to bring our blackness together. And I just wanted to emphasize that for like just the grander scheme of people, and to just show that, you know, being black has its upsides, is great, it's liberating in a lot of ways, and it's its downsides. It's some truths, like some hard truths that motherfuckers just don't like dealing with.
That's
and
true.
You know, I'm trying to put that on display too. Like there's some good things, you know, we got you know, vibrant people, we always showing love, you know, cookouts, the whole nine. There's but then, you know, it's the police issue, systemic racism, like shit's fucking how slavery affects us today. This is shit that people don't like hearing. And it's like, I don't want to pretend that shit doesn't exist for us to feel like, you know, we can all exist in this space. It happened. We got to show it happen and show our differences of why, you know, that's what makes us who we are. So I just wanted to display that for the weekend. I'm sorry if that was like a long ass answer.
No, not at all.
I feel like it was detailed.
Yeah.
It was on point. That's all.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what inspired me to do it, because, you know, and like I said, I just didn't want it to come from a tragedy. And I what I didn't want either is like, you know, a tragedy from a black person, the greater community, especially like, you know, just anyone not black feeling bad and then making this tournament for us. But when it's like, we need to make this shit for, you know, like black people need to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We got to spearhead this. And that's no knock to other people. Like their intentions are great, but I just feel like, you know, we should be the, you know, it's kind of like you said, Rod, like a for us by us type of thing, you know, that FUBU shit. But yeah, like that's kind of, you know, that's what, you know, I just felt like it had to be done. I don't know. And I felt like the sooner the better, you know?
Yeah, we are definitely long overdue for formats like that. And I think with how influential the FGC is, you know, a lot of it a lot of the coolness that is the FGC, you know, whether it be the voices or the types of tournaments ran, or you know, some of the crazy moments in bracket, a lot of those were laid down by, you know, people of color. Like I think of, you know, when I think of fighting games, I think of like Yipes and Tasty Steve. I think of like,
Mm.
you know, the Evo moment. You know, here we are over in Melee. We're speaking to you. You know, the Happy Feet Wombo combo. I mean, everything. You know, Mango. You know, and Hungry Box have done as well too. You know, it's what makes us different. Is what kind of brings us all together in this community. But it's definitely the people who are, you know, a little different, a little bit more marginalized in the grander scheme of things in the world that have really made these grassroots communities what they are today.
Mm. For sure.
Yeah.
There it
I,
is.
yeah. I hope, you know, people enjoyed the event. Shouts to Rod for commentating. I know you were busy, but you know, you blessed the mic last year and that was
Yeah, I
dope.
was on there last year. I wasn't
Yeah.
home this year, but yeah.
No, I
For
mean, I
sure.
appreciate you guys taking your time because like it's all I forgot to point this out. It's all for charity and businesses too. Like we don't like I don't make shit off that. So, you know, we just I'm just hope every black person that is around watches because for me that's who it's for. And you know, should any black player want to participate in the future, man, by all means, just hit me up.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, hey man, we
Appreciate you,
appreciate
bro.
having you on, man. I mean, bro,
It was
I
good.
was like, we got to get some
yeah,
people on here, and I was like, you know what? I know homemade waffles. I got a lot of pictures with the dude stuff. I don't really know the dude personally, so I'm like, I don't want to only just know somebody through their achievements. Like, let's, you know, what I'm saying, open them up
hmm
and see those inner workings. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. And I'm glad y'all have me, man. I really appreciate it. I always respect what y'all do. I see you guys commentate, doing all kind of shit at the highest level. Be on the stage, you know, making everybody feel good, dripped out. Both of y'all, you know, I really,
You
you know what
know,
I'm
you
saying.
know.
You know, gotta respect how y'all get down, and I'm always just like I said, man. I love seeing y'all prosper. You know I don't really play ultimate like that, but you know that don't mean that I don't respect what y'all do in the community as a whole. Like I think you know I'll be watching the games. I'll be watching MK Leo just. I bet on him every time. So
Yeah,
That's a
you
good
a,
bet.
you
That's
a
Yeah,
a good
for
smart
bet.
real.
man.
I'm like, oh, Leo and losers bracket round one. Okay, that means I know he gonna win. Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, but yeah, I'll be watching, man. I'll be you know trying to support. Void's one of my favorite players. MK Leo, Void, and Riddles are my favorite like
Oh,
ultimate
Riddle's
players.
in there. Okay, good,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
Riddles
Riddle's
is
a queen.
crazy. Bro. Riddles be
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm playing Terry right now, bro. Like, or Kazuya, whatever Tekken character, whatever. You know, I'll be watching that. So, shouts to all the ultimate players, man, and y'all too. Like, y'all be having me rolling, bro.
You already know, bro.
Yeah,
Smash Summit this week. It's gonna be good.
yeah. Let's
Appreciate you.
go.
You
Yeah,
know, we try, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But no, big shout out to you, man, and thank you for coming on, bro. Next time we do another one of these, we want to have more guests on consistently. And as long as you keep going ham in the community, man, we love to keep having you back.
Yeah, for sure, man. I ain't doing shit. So if y'all want me around, just hit me up, man. I'll come through. And Brian, also, it was nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know.
Yeah, no, thank you, Brandon. Absolutely. I just can only reiterate what's already been said. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an honor to have you. Like, really. I, you know, I've watched the combo video. I don't know, hundreds of times in my life. Obviously, I've seen your commentating, you know, over and over at different events, and you've always been one of my favorite commentators, and will continue to be. And yes, we would love to have you on the show in the future. Yeah, thank you again for being here.
For sure, for sure. One day, I always told myself one day I've never done this, and I'll tell y'all, Rod, while I'm here. I've never commentated uh an ultimate set ever.
Really?
Really,
Yeah.
we gotta change that. Hold on.
We gotta
I was
hold on
like,
now.
I don't know shit about the game though, so it would just be blasphemous.
That's
But
why
I
I
was like,
commentate melee. It's fun.
yeah, No,
Oh
you know
god.
more about melee than I know about ultimate for
Well,
free. But I was like, man, I never commentated ultimate before, like ever, or like Smash Four, none of that. I never
Yeah.
even. So I was like, man, maybe I would do like one block. I don't want a good block, you know. I want that block of pools where like it's just like, you know, MK Leo like versus some random like that. That's the block I want. But you know, one day I told myself one day I might do it. And enter. I never entered an ultimate tournament either, which I should probably do.
Yeah.
So
glad you put that out there. That's good to know.
yeah,
Yes,
one
sir.
day.
All
But
righty,
yo,
mister.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me. I truly do.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Thank you for
Right.
coming on the show again. It's much appreciated.
But so
black, brother.
do I just sign off here, or is that it? Or like, I don't know
Yeah,
how do I.
you can go ahead and take care, and we'll talk to you later. We're gonna have another guest on the show in a little bit, and yeah, thank you again, Brandon.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, peace.